We should be good. All right. First and foremost, we would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, whom rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Shai. All right, on the brother Yashamath. And to my right, we got the brother Halak. All right, and we're GMS Mississippi branch. And we're coming with a lesson. All right, and we're going into, okay, how it's time to build. Okay, we owe the king. Okay, and we're going to deal with the first part of the lesson, dealing with it's time to build. All right, and we're going to go into the mindset of Nehemiah, all right, during the time of the Persian Empire when our people, were still in bondage. Okay, but under the Persian Empire, we know that the Lord, put the spirit, on their rulership of the Persians, through Cyrus and eventually through Xerxes to allow the temple to be rebuilt. Okay, but you had Nehemiah, all right, who had a particular mindset, all right, that aided, in the temple being built. All right. So when you go to, let's get the book of Nehemiah. All right, we'll start at 1. All right, brother, you can start reading. So let's start at Nehemiah 1 and 1.
This is Nehemiah chapter 1, verse 1. The words of Nehemiah, the son of Hachalai, and it came to pass in the month of Chesulet, the 20th year, as I was in Shushan the palace, that Hanani, one of my brethren, came, and he and a certain man of Judah, and I asked them concerning the Jews that had escaped, which were left of the captivity concerning Jerusalem.
So he's inquiring of his brother. He's seeing the condition, of his kinsmen. Okay, go ahead.
And they said unto me, the remnant that are left of the captivity there in the province are in great affliction and reproach.
Yep.
The wall of Jerusalem also is broken down, and the gates thereof are burnt with fire.
Yeah, so as he's inquiring, about the condition, he's getting his report, all right, that Jake is afflicted, Jerusalem, is still trodden down, the gates burn with fire, okay? And symbolically, that's the condition of our people today, man, a broken people, a people with no structure, because the temple represented the connection that we had with our power. They represent the presence of our power amongst us. That was torn down. The walls were torn down. The gates, what you had, the leaders, the elders would be at the gates, the nobles. So you look at our people today as a people with no leadership, no structure, and no connection until Yahweh Bashim Shai. But then you had what? The Albert Bivens, okay? He pretty much started turning the hearts of the children to the father and the hearts of the fathers to the children, okay? He started their reconciliation process through the spirit of Yahweh Shai, okay? And what started to happen? The temple started being built in the spirit, okay? But Nehemiah had the mindset to look, okay, to be concerned about the condition of his people, okay? Just as we've taken on that mindset as well, but we only know it's for the elect, and that's what we're here for, man. So read verse 4.
And it came to pass, when I heard these words, that I sat down and wept, and mourned certain days, and fasted, and prayed before Yahweh of heaven.
Yeah, so he mourned, he fasted, he prayed, and he threw up prayers, and then eventually he had to perform his office because Nehemiah was a cupbearer for a king, which means that he was in good estate. If you're a cupbearer, that means you get all the perks of being in the courts of the king. Okay? If you're a cupbearer, you're around the king, first he trusts you. If you showing you that, the Israelite man was well esteemed in the earth, to be a cupbearer of a king, first he has to trust you, and then you're gonna be decked out. You're gonna get little perks, you he probably had drip, you know, he would drip, you know what Jake can say.
You privy to like all important matters and affairs.
Yeah.
You in the know.
Yeah. You in the courts. And then I say you an Israelite, so they know that you on a level, you know, you seeing King drunk and you know, and it's, you know, you pretty much behind the scenes, and Nehemiah was in that position, you know. So go ahead.
This is chapter 2, verse 1. And it came to pass in the month Nisan in the 20th year of Artaxerxes the king.
Yeah, or Artaxerxes.
Artaxerxes.
Yep.
The king, that wine was before him, and I took up the wine and gave it unto the king. Now, and I had not been before time sad in his presence.
Yeah, so he's never been sad before the king, you know, but he couldn't hide it, you know, when he heard about the condition of his people, man. Go ahead.
Wherefore the king said unto me, Why is thy countenance sad, seeing thou art not sick? This is nothing else but sorrow of heart. Then I was very sore afraid.
Yeah, so the king is like, it was good, because Nehemiah was his guy. Just like Daniel, you know, during time of Babylon, like, you know, Jake was always pretty much in the position, pretty much the hand of the king, pretty much.
Joseph.
You know, Joseph. You see? So, you know, he's seeing Nehemiah, he like, what's good? Like, you know, what's going on, man? You know, go ahead.
And said unto the king, Let the king live forever. Why should not my countenance be sad when the city, the place of my forefathers' sepulchre, lieth waste, and the gates thereof are consumed with fire?
So he's giving, you know, the reason why he's had this sad countenance, man, discussing, you know, the place of his father's sepulchres. Okay, it was pretty much the legacy of his people. You see how it lied waste. All right, and he was concerned. That, you know, he was grieving. Go ahead.
The king said unto me, For what dost thou make request? So I prayed to Yahweh of heaven, and I said unto the king, If it please the king, and if thy servant have found favor in thy sight, that thou wouldest send me unto Judah, unto the city of my father's sepulchre, that I may build it.
That I may build it. You see, you got to understand, Nehemiah was leaving a comfortable position, okay, within the Persian Empire, the courts of the kings, you know, to go build, to go labor. You see? And that's, you know, hey, the sacrifice we make at times, man. He leave the comforts and the stability of certain situations to go build, okay, in the spirit. You see? So he's making that request that he want to go labor, man. You know? Go ahead.
Verse 6.
Yep.
And the king said unto me, the queen also sitting by him, For how long shall thy journey be? And when wilt thou return? So it pleased the king to send me, and I set him a time.
Yeah, so he and that's how valuable Jake was. He was like, how long you gonna be now? You know, you can go. So, how long you gonna be gone now? God damn. But yeah, Jake, you know, let's show you how valuable Jake was, man, in these empires, man. You know, he like, look, you set a time, go do what you gotta do, man. You know, go get them folks right. But look, we need you back here, man. You know, hey, but that's the mindset of our forefathers. You know, even when you go to let's get that Matthew 9 and 36. What was your Howard Shaw mindset, man? And you seen, you know, Jake, okay, in this trying down, you know, position, man. I think that's, yep, Matthew 9 and 36.
This is Matthew 9, verse 36.
Yep.
But when he saw the multitude, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd.
Yeah, so Yahweh Shai is talking about the people. Nehemiah was talking about, you know, the people as well, but then he was also talking about the physical temple, okay, the sepulchres of his forefathers. He was talking about the infrastructure, okay? And Yahweh Shai is speaking of the people, like they fainted, scattered, no leadership, because leadership back then was horrible, man. Jake was pretty much, the scribes and Pharisees, the wicked scribes and Pharisees had became, Sadducees. They had pretty much became an extension of the Roman Empire, and they was ruling our people. There was a lot of corruption in the leadership, and Jake was just pretty much left stranded, with no spiritual guidance, man. Okay, and Yahushua was looking at him, he had compassion on him, like, man, these people done. Because they wasn't being, the gospel wasn't being preached. It was just the Pharisees beating them to death with the law. Here it is, they in bondage under the Romans already. And then you had the Pharisees put them in more bondage. So it was like, God damn. Just like today, you got Jake, we already in this captivity under Esau. And then you have the leaders putting more bondage on the church. Okay, not teaching Jake nothing but patting them pockets down every week. Other Israelite groups not teaching our people the whole truth, but still requiring all this from the people. So it's like Jake is in a double bondage. And Yahushua had compassion on him, man. Go ahead.
Then said unto his disciples, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few.
Yo, the laborers. What did Nehemiah want to do? He said he wanted to go build. You see, he wanted to go be a laborer. So the harvest is plenteous, which, our people, especially with all these things going on and everybody jumping up saying they're Israelite and that being the talk, you have our people that's prepped to hear this word, but Yahushua like, look, the laborers are few, So what did Yahushua, request? Go ahead.
Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest that he will send forth laborers into his harvest.
He will send forth laborers, man, aka builders. Okay, it's time to build. Okay, it's time for our people to constantly hear this word, man. The same way they constantly heard goddamn rap music, Ricky Lake, social media, okay? These movies, BET, Madea. It's time for them to hear this word, okay? Early and often, man. Hey, you see? Even with the Apostle Paul, what was his, let's get that in Romans 9. Look at that Romans 9. All right, in 1.
This is Romans chapter 9, verse 1. And I say the truth in Hamashiach, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit.
Go ahead.
That I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart.
Great heaviness and continual sorrow in his heart. Why? Go ahead.
For I could wish that myself were a curse from Hamashiach for my brethren, for my kinsmen according to the flesh.
So he's sorrowful in heart because of what? His kinsmen according to the flesh, other Israelites, man. You see? You go into the prophets, Yahushua, they had a concern about the nation, man. Okay? Now, we have the understanding that, hey, this is not for everyone. But those that get it, that's our concern, man. Like, there's a sincere concern about our people, man. Okay? And we understand now that it's about the elect of our people, and that's our concern. That's our sincere concern is those that get it, those that believe Yahushua, man. Okay? You had something to say, bro?
Yeah, because each account, it's always dealing with someone who had a care, a concern for the people. Like Nehemiah, he thought about his kinsmen, Yahushua, Moses, when he thought about the affliction, didn't want to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter.
Yep.
They all had this concern, and as the scripture says, roughly paraphrasing, the shepherd love his sheep. And the hireling, he gonna run. The hireling gonna run. You got these men that are hireling that's not gonna teach the full truth.
Because they're not concerned. There's no true, sincere concern about who they're teaching. Okay? It's about them. That's why it's about a reality show. We gotta look at the times we in, man. What you doing, man? A reality show? Look at the times we in, man. That's a horrible move right now, man. Like Jay, you can do what you want to do. It ain't no sin, But goddamn, man, consider what's going on. Is that the spirit to be pushing on our people when we're coming to the worst time ever? Is a goddamn reality show, man. Okay? But that's because the leadership is in their spirit, all right, of being a hireling, man. Okay? And we'll see. You keep going, bro.
Verse 4. Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenant, and the giving of law, and the service of Yahweh, and the promises.
Yep, the service of Yahweh Shema Shai and the promises. So he was in sorrow for his brethren, and he understood that that it was Israel, all right, that was given the covenants with the S, the old and the new, okay, which the new is to come. We're in between it, the old and new through grace, okay. But he understood who that was for. He understood who the promises was for, okay. So as he's knowing this, he wants our people. He wants Jake to get it, but he came to the conclusion that it's just not for everybody. Mm-hmm. That's why I say, well said Isaiah. All right? They have ears but hear not, eyes but see not. Like the Apostle Paul, he was really trying to let Jake get it. Matter of fact, let's get that in Acts, just to get that account to show you like the Apostle Paul was trying to make Jake get it, man. Okay? But it wasn't for him. Let's get that in Acts 28. Now, what happened is you had Paul was in bondage, all right, and you had Jake's, coming to him because he was able to get visitors. So you have Jake's, in that town Paul was at, and they would come to Paul, and they were inquiring about the doctrine, because you had our people that they didn't fully understand the doctrine of Yahushua, so they came to inquire of Paul, and this is the account. So let's get Acts 28. And 22.
It's Acts chapter 28, verse 22. But we desire to hear thee what thou thinkest, for as concerning this sect, we know that everywhere it is spoken against.
So they talking to Paul like, well, we just want to hear this doctrine that everyone is speaking against. Okay, go ahead.
And when they had appointed him a day, there came many to him into his lodging, to whom he expounded and testified the kingdom of Yahweh Shema Shai, persuading them concerning Yahweh Shai.
Yep.
Both out of the law of Moses and out of the prophets, from morning to evening.
So he was going to the scriptures from morning to evening. From morning to evening, he did a shift. He did a real shift. Because you go to work in the morning, 8, you get out, 5, 6 in the evening, 7, He did a shift, breaking down precepts. 8 hours, or more. Like you do a 2-hour sit down now, you like, damn, brother. His brother going along. Brother, stop bringing out precepts, at the hour and 40-minute mark, You see? Go ahead.
And some believe the things which were spoken, and some believe not.
Yeah, and some believe the things were spoken, and some believe not. So here it is. Apostle Paul went through all of that, breaking down precepts. And then some believe, and then some still didn't believe, man. After all, imagine how many precepts and in-depth breakdowns came out in that time, man. You see? So this is how the Apostle Paul would say, go ahead.
And when they agreed not among themselves, they departed, that after Paul had spoken one word, well spake the Holy Spirit by Isaiah, that the prophet, that the prophet unto our fathers.
Yeah, go ahead.
Saying, go unto this people and say, hearing ye shall hear and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see and not perceive.
So Apostle Paul, now he's understanding. This is what Isaiah was talking about. This is what Isaiah was saying. You can hear, all right, you got ears, but you can't hear. You got eyes, but you can't see it. So Apostle Paul frustrated with Jake that didn't believe. Go ahead. This is what Paul say. Go ahead.
For the heart of this people is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes have they closed, lest they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their hearts, and should be converted, and I should heal them.
And I should heal them. Go ahead.
Be it known therefore unto you, that the salvation of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua is sent unto the Gentiles, and that they will hear it.
Yeah, so he said, well, hell with you niggas, man. Hell with you, man. I'm going to goddamn Philippi, goddamn. Because you niggas in Judea just ain't going to get it, man. You see? So, Apostle Paul held them niggas, man. You know, but he had a sincere concern for Jake, man, and he was just about teaching. That's what he was about, teaching, man. Yahushua, he taught daily. Nehemiah, he left the comforts of the king's court to go build, to go labor, man, to go get on the front line. Moses, he left the king's court, the court of pharaohs, to go in the wilderness, man. Okay? That's the mindset of our forefathers, man. So their mindset is back in the earth, man, amongst his men now. All right, now it's more intentional. We're here for the elect. You see, because like I said, we both, everybody wake up with their zeal. Just like Apostle Paul, you try to go through the breakdowns and precepts out, and then when they don't get it, it's frustrating. But well saith Isaiah. You see, it's part of the scriptures, man. But we'll leave it there. We get ready to go to class. Just want to put something on wax before we went to class. We'll get to the second part another time. Lord will, going into we hold the king. You see, we'll touch on that, but hey, this time, it's time to build. We here to build. That's what our free time is for, to build up. All right, to be built up in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So Lord will edify until next time. We say Shalom.
Shalom.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Abba Ba.
Abba Ba.
DTA soon.
Shalom.
Shalom.